say, no, I don't want that. This thing didn't make sense. Now, that is the point. Your thinking of seeing that this isn't making sense is all that it takes. It's all that it takes to make the right choice. You know? Because life isn't there for us to sort of life isn't there for us to underestimate it. We are there to see the value of it, not to look down on it. I care about everything that I sort of witness every day. And I know that if I'm able to stay on course, there is a lot of good that I would do. People are not really participating in the video for some reason. I don't know. People don't really enjoy religion. Maybe that's the reason. But if you were thinking a reasoning person and you are not being moved by the so-called spirit that I'm talking about, which controls people and has drifted people into, has lost the spirit keep taking our soul. And it's the same spirit, I believe, that has been killing us, that has brought all this terrible disease upon us. It is more interested in our soul, in return to what we are seeing as an advanced state. And others are really more of an instrument, of a tool to achieve the advancement and present this glittering, presentation to lure most of us people to come along. And in all these doings, what happens is the soul is being taken. People's soul are being taken. And when your soul is taken away, you haven't got much time left in you. It's like it's not something that just me. I mean, it's like every child who gets born is bound to lose his soul one way or one point or one way or the other. At some point, you lose your soul. And death will be right there before you. Now this is what I discovered. This I've discovered. This is the fact of the truth I've discovered. I'm not worried about the next minute because I know that is a possibility. What I really want, that if I can change it, and so the effort to change is to share. Tell the next door neighbor, tell the person that needs to know, because the same process is being used, and your soul and my soul is being bought. The very thing that gives us life, the very thing that makes a human being is totally under the control of a spell. And that spell keep dominating us. Now, if you're able to free yourself from it, from any spell whatsoever, that would be good. Now, I hope you're getting the picture of what I'm saying here. It's all coming from the same book, the Bible. If you go to the Quran, it's also clear there. There's so many things. The inspiration of the Spirit or the guide of the books is to make you, there's the Holy Bible, is to make you believe something, have hope in the life now, the religion, the culture. Sorry. And establish your life through that. That life may be lost any time. There's no guarantees. Even though the advancement is showing some guarantees of rich life, better life, healthy life, it is not guaranteed. People are even dying more. People are getting sicker than before. People are getting horrible situations, And sometimes some things come up and will get well. But at the end of the day, majority, there's this majority which tells me that we've sown our soul, or our soul has been sold, sown to the hands of another that keeps drowning us. If we look into the Bible, you can see answers of these things, and clear evidence of these things. We look into the Quran, we also discover the same clear evidence by Abdullah. The Quran is by Abdullah, and you and I will sort of see the right choices that will be good for us to follow through. Now, in the book of Joshua, we've learned that it is a spy, a woman who might be considered as a prostitute, is having some guarantees from the Jews who have been promised a land. A harlot is being forgiven because he helped out. He helped them to be able to sort of hide away from the Canaanites and the Amorites from finding them as they were there to spy. He saved their life, and so despite she being a harlot, they have to save her. I mean, you can imagine all these things in the storyline telling you the true nature of Jehovah, the God of the Bible. But you are supposed to think of a different way of the true nature of the God of the Bible. For instance, the harlot is a great sin before God. Fornication, he's fornicating, he's adulterous. She could be, a lot. She could be doing a lot of things. Selling herself for money. I mean, clearly, Jehovah does not condone or does not encourage these things. But here, because the person is saving the Jews, his character is not in question anymore. She may be a lot, but God doesn't mind. This is what I keep saying, that if you look deeply into the story, you can see that my analysis of God is different. But it's actually more embracive, more logical, more sensible than what I can see here in terms of the picture that the book depicts of God and what I'm depicting of God. I don't think God have issue about her character, that we sort of characterize her as a harlot, because the harlot is coming from how we or human beings sort of consider those things as a result of what they have believed, or the moral standards have told them that the character that she bear, she must be named a harlot. So we use the harlot as a means of expressing the character she I'm sure you know what I'm trying to say here. But definitely, the way things are done here, you can see that God can forego even her character just because he helped the Jews, and gave her life to her. Her life was not taken, part of the people. So it wasn't necessarily whether the people were doing something or they weren't doing anything, whatever it is. The land was meant to go for the Jews, and that's it. And so whatever it is that they were doing in the country, or they've done in the country, God could have forgone and say, oh, forget about it, it's fine. But he didn't. He didn't. Rather, in this situation, he's going to strike the harlot. Oh, he's going to, give life to the harlot. Sorry about that. He's going to give the life to the harlot. Save her from the disaster that will come upon the rest of the people. Clearly, he can also forgo and never bring any problem to the people or to anyone. But he's doing that because she did a favor to his people. So he also would do a favor to her, give her life to her. So God is not really offended by the things we do. I'm not saying that people should go out there, flamboyanting here and there and engage in all sort of relationship, because It's something that is being done anyway.